Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tanealia and this is Uoma Beauty. In this video, we're going to be doing a full face of new makeup. I would say about 90% of what I'm going to be using today is new to the market. Some things have been out for a while. They're not brand new, but I have been wanting to try them, so they're new to me. I have my basket here. I have the new Urban Decay powder. I have the new Lush Life palette from Colourpop. Very excited about that. I have the new Uoma Beauty foundation. I do not have a new primer, so I went ahead and just used my e.l.f. Poreless Putty primer. I am almost at the end of this jar. I do have one of my backups, so when I'm done with this, I will be pulling that one. This is one of my favorite primers. The foundation we're going to be using today, this is the Uoma by Sharon. This is a new brand being sold in Walmart. Uoma Beauty has been around for a while. They're not quite luxury, but kind of pushing that luxury price. This is the original foundation. This one was like $40 and the new one was $15. So this is kind of like a more affordable brand that's a little bit more inclusive, to everyone who may not be able to afford this one. So I'm interested in seeing what the formula this one is like compared to the original one, because I really do like. All right, so I wanted to jump in here real quick and make a clarification. I noticed I kept saying original formula in reference to the Uoma Beauty foundation. Uoma Beauty and Uoma by Sharon are two different companies, or two different brands from the same company. So the Sharon foundation is not the new formula, whereas the Uoma Beauty foundation is the original. They're two completely different brands, different formulas from two different brands. So I just wanted to clarify that, because I noticed I kept saying original formula in reference to the Uoma Beauty foundation when it's not technically the original formula. The one from the Uoma brand. This shade is in Bronze Venus T1. The way that the display was set up, they had different groups of the foundation according to the shade range. So according to your shade range, the top is going to be a different color. Let's go ahead and throw this on. I do not want this video to be 2 hours long. This is my very first time using it. I have not tried this foundation yet, so I'm very curious. It's this little pump bottle. That's really, really pretty. Glass bottle, very nice. So I'm going to pump a little bit directly on my sponge. This shade should be a good shade match. This one is Honey Honey in the original. This one's a little bit too deep, so this one works with me if I have a really nice tan going on. This one should be a good shade match. The one that was right below it was too light, and the one that was a little bit higher was too deep. And yes, that is a good shade match. It's a little slightly deep, but that's fine. We're in the summer, we're getting tanned. The undertone for this one is really, really good. I am liking that. And the coverage, this is nice. I just applied it to my face and it is blending out really, really well. I haven't had to put any real effort into it. It's melting right in. Oh, I am liking that. It is a very, very nice skin-like finish. Ooh. So far, we are off to an excellent start. That is a really, really nice finish. Now for concealer, we're going to be using the Ultra Creamy Shape Tape from Tarte. This shade is in Tan. I just got the little kind of sample travel size. I didn't want to get the full size unless I knew for sure I was going to like it. I grabbed this my last time that I went to Ulta, so this is just a little small, sample travel size. If I do like it, then I will go on ahead and I will get it in the full size. But when you consider how many concealers I have right now that I'm currently working through, it probably was a good idea that I did not get the full size. But I'm just going to apply it just right in here. Right in here is where I get the most darkness, little shadows going on. Put some on my nose, a little bit on my chin. I have a little blemish right here. I don't know if you can see that. When it comes to blemishes with my skin, I don't get little cute little tiny, whiteheads or something. I get mountains is what I get on my face. So let's go ahead and blend this in. Take my little e.l.f. sponge. Let's see what one layer does under the eyes. Well, that coverage is really nice so far. It's a good shade match. I wasn't sure. They didn't have a huge shade range in the sample ones. The the full size ones, they had a lot, but in the little sample section there wasn't a huge range, so I wasn't sure. But so far that seems to be a good match. Definitely adding some brightness under there. Do I think I am getting the same coverage level as the original Shape Tape? No, not really. I don't really like the original Shape Tape that much. It's not my favorite because it is really drying under my eyes. The coverage is really good, but like I said, it's a little bit drying. I was hoping maybe I could get the coverage with this one that I get with the other one, but less drying. But so far I'm not getting the same coverage. Put a little bit more in here. And I'm just going to kind of let it sit there for just a second. And then I'm going to blend it out. So the second layer has been blended out, and it's okay. The coverage is definitely not the same as the original Shape Tape. This one is a little bit more creasy. I would think that with this one being more hydrating, it would be smoother, but as far as that's concerned, it's kind of the same. I'm not really seeing much of a difference there. I definitely like my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer a lot better. All right, now for setting powder, we're going to be setting with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Powder in Translucent. This is supposed to be a softening loose powder. I have been wanting to try this ever since I first saw it launched. It's not like I need any loose setting powders. I have so many loose powders and a lot that I'm trying to work through that are not my favorite. So it's not like I needed a new powder, but I really did want to try it. So we have a little thing here. Take that off, little ASMR, and this is what the powder looks like. It only comes in one shade though, so hopefully it'll blend in and it won't leave a white cast, but there's like a little netting in the inside. It's very, very soft. Ooh, I like that. So what I'm going to do, normally I would take the powder and I would shake it into the lid, but as you can see, there's like this little piece here that I guess pushes down on the powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sponge and just go directly into the container, okay? And a nice decent amount of powder, and we're going to put this all over. I don't smell a fragrance, so that's nice. I'm just going to start pressing this on my face the way that I would normally use a powder, because I like to take a sponge instead of a brush and just kind of press it in. All right, so far I'm seeing a little bit of a white cast. It may be that's just how it's looking on camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set everything down, and then I'm going to run into the bathroom and just kind of see what it looks like under that lighting to see if I'm still seeing a white cast. Like I said, it could just be the lighting, my ring lighting here. I do like how it feels. It's matte, but it's not like too matte. I don't feel like my face feels like it's super dry. The finish is really nice. It's very blurring. It looks really soft on the skin. In person, when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm not really seeing a white cast, but it looks slightly that way on camera. But like I said, it could be the ring light. I'm going to take this big fluffy brush right here and just kind of tap into the powder, and we're going to set the under eye. If you've been following me for a while, then you know there was a time where I did not set under my eyes at all, because I felt like no matter what concealer I used, no matter what powder I used, it just looked dry and creasy. But I've been like testing out different concealer and powder combinations. That's okay under the eyes. Mostly it's that concealer. I'm just not getting the coverage that I was wanting. All right, so I went and I checked it out in the bathroom, and I also looked at it in natural light. And yeah, it's just a ring light. There's no white cast in person if you're actually looking at it. I do not have a new brow pencil, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. I'm going to be using my little e.l.f. brow pencil here. So I'm going to fill in my brows off camera, then we'll come back and we'll try out this blush and highlighter that I picked up. Brows are filled in. Hopefully they look even. They kind of look a little bit uneven to me. I'm not sure, but let's go ahead and move on. The blush I'm going to be using is from Milani. This is one of their Cheek Kiss cream blushes. This shade is in Coral Crush, I think is what the name of the shade is. These are not new. This has been out for a while. I think it came out like early spring or something like that. I've been wanting to give them a try. I hadn't before. I was in Ulta this last time. I thought, you know what? I'm going to grab it. We're going to see what this is like. There is no scent. Shade's really pretty. I'm going to take this little kind of round brush right here, which I find to be really nice for cream blushes. And I have loaded this brush up a lot. Hopefully this is not going to be too heavy. Okay, that is a nice amount of pigment going on. You guys know all about me when it comes to cream and liquid blushes and highlighters. They have to be able to blend well over powder. And this one is blending out really nice. I'm actually finding that this is blending out better than the Putty blushes from e.l.f. Like, that is really, the shade's really pretty too. I'm not seeing like a whole lot of product on the bottom, like my foundation and powder and stuff lifting up. And it's building up nicely too. I've got a decent amount of pigment, but it's nicely sheared out. It's not like super heavy. I'm liking that. It looks like there's a bit of a glow to it, but that's pretty. It's a nice spring corally shade. All right, the highlighter that I'm going to be using is from Essence. It's Pure Nude highlighter. Once again, this is not a new product. The shade is in Be My Highlight. I have seen so many YouTubers just rave about this highlighter, and I've been wanting to try it for a while. So once again, when I was in Ulta, I said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I didn't really see a lot of newer products that were just really interesting me and jumping out at me that I wanted to try. So I just went ahead and I took advantage and just grabbed some of the products I have been wanting to try. And this one was only like $5, so I'm interested to see how this goes. And we're just going to highlight our cheekbones. What I had heard in the reviews was that it's a very natural highlight. Like, it's not like super beaming, and it just looks really glowy and healthy on the skin. All right. Yeah, it's definitely a subtle natural glow. It's not like super, super beamy, but that is pretty. That's kind of like that natural everyday highlight. You don't want to be like super, super glowy to the sun. That is pretty though. I'm liking that. It's nice. I'm going to go ahead and set everything down real quick with the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Setting Spray, 16-hour wear, although I have never worn my makeup for 16 hours, but I do like the spray. I'm going to go ahead and spray everything down, and then we will come back and we will move on to the eyeshadow. I'm going to prime my eyelids real quick with my Juvia's Place Concealer, my absolute favorite way to prime my eyes for eyeshadow. The palette we're going to be using today is from Colourpop. This is the Lush Life palette. Colourpop launches so much so quickly, so I'm really picky about what I decide to pick up from them. I just don't have the funds to be getting every single thing. This did come in a full collection. I think there were cheek dews with this and maybe lip glosses or something. I'm not exactly sure. I just picked up the palette and the liner set because I love their liners. So I just went ahead and I grabbed these two. I did do close-ups of the palette as well as swatches. So let's go ahead and jump into that. First of all, the packaging. I just loved how colorful and tropical this palette was. Visuals like this just really jump out at me. This was like one of the first things that just made me want to go ahead and try this palette. The color story, it's really bright and colorful, and just I feel like I'm going to a festival in Brazil or something like that when I look at this color story. I think it's just so beautiful. All the shimmers in this palette, very creamy, buttery, very metallic. The two middle shades on the bottom, On the Prowl and Monsoon. On the Prowl is the green shade, Monsoon is the blue shade. Those two did swatch kind of patchy. They didn't swatch very smooth. The Monsoon shade, which is a blue shade, reminds me of, I don't remember the name of the shade, but the blue shade and the limoncello one. They kind of swatched the same. And if you recall, when I did that video, that blue shade was a little bit patchy on the eyelid. So I don't know if Monsoon is going to have that same effect, but it did swatch very similar to that one. So let's go ahead and put together a look. I'm not sure what I want to go with. I know I'm going to stay away from these shades because I've done like really peachy warm looks lately, so I want to do something a little more colorful. I think I am going to attempt the Monsoon shade. Wish me luck. Hopefully it's not going to be like super patchy. I'm going to take this little brush. It came out of one of my BoxyCharm boxes. This is this really cute little handle. I don't remember the brand or anything, but I'm going to dip into Monsoon. And what I'm going to do is pat it onto my eyelid around the outer corner, going to the crease, and just slowly blend it out. And hopefully I'll get a nice blend and it won't be patchy. There's a lot of powdery kick up in the shade. Right now I am just applying the shade, packing it on, and just hoping for the best. Right, so far that is looking really nice. It has a little bit more, I don't even know the word that I'm looking for. It's a little more green, I would say, than the shade in the limoncello palette. The lemon shade in the limoncello palette was a really, really deep kind of a navy blue. This one has a little bit of green in it. And right now, all I'm doing is packing it on the outer part of the eye. And then I'm going to slowly start blending it in. It is a pretty shade, though. It's not packing on patchy like it did in the swatch, but we will see. So I'm going to take that same brush and I'm just going to start to slowly, very lightly blend. This might end up being like just a 1 or 2 shade look. I might just like do just this one shade and then put a shimmer on the lid. Okay, so far that's blending out nicely. All right. It's swatched kind of patchy. And we all know, you know, swatches sometimes aren't indicative, or most of the time are not indicative of what it's going to look like on the eyelid. But it is blending out really nicely. I was a little bit worried about that. So far, I am liking how this is coming out. All right, I think we're going to leave that shade like that and then go straight into a shimmer. I don't think I want to add anything else into my crease. What do we want to do? This shade right here, that is just really calling my name. That is such a pretty green shade, but I don't know how it would look with the blue. We have this one right here. Basically, it's between this one and this one. I think I'm going to go with that one. I think that'll fit more with this eye look. And we'll save the bright green for something else. Oh, that's pretty. It's a very pretty shade. I'm just going to put that all over the eyelid. I'm just using kind of a flat packing brush right here. So my daughter is finally back from Portland. Today is Sunday, July 10th. She came in July 9th. Got to spend time with her grandparents. She got to meet her younger cousins her grandparents, her grandmother and her uncle. And she got to meet her younger cousins for the first time. So that was pretty nice. They're all boys, so she was the only girl in the house, but she had a good time. When she landed at like 10:25 on Friday evening, the plane was scheduled to land at 10:39, and I told her as soon as it lands just to send me a message and let me know, and we'll head there because we're only 5 minutes from the airport, so we didn't need to like get there super early. So we get there, and I messaged her and asked her if she has gotten off the plane yet. She said no, they're still in the plane. 20 minutes later, they're still in the plane. Apparently what was going on was that the plane before them was behind, and so she was sitting on that plane for almost an hour before they finally let them get off, and then it took like another 30 minutes before we actually got their luggage. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning almost before we finally got home. So it was a long evening, but we were very happy to see her. It was me, my husband, my son. We all went up there and greeted her. It was really, really nice. I know he missed her like crazy. He was not happy that she was gone for 2 weeks. I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to slowly blend these two together. This palette is so beautiful. Like I said, very few palettes that Colourpop launches today just really, really excite me because they launch so much and a lot of the color stories are pretty similar. I'm going to go ahead and take Pom Pom, which is that shiny green, and I'm just going to lay that along the lower lash line. Just want to add a little something down there. All right, now I want to throw one of these pencils in my waterline. Let me go ahead and get them out of their packaging. All right, so you have two greens and it looks like kind of a metallic gold. I like the detail on the lid. Do you see that? It's like a gold leaf. All right, this shade is Canopy. It's a nice deep foresty green. This shade is a Glow. It's kind of more like it's a limey metallic green. Ooh, that is beautiful. I definitely don't have anything like this in my collection currently. And then this last shade is Toucan Do It. It looks like it's kind of a gold metallic. Wow. The shimmery pencils are so creamy. This one I'm going to put into my waterline. I would have done this one, but I already put that green shimmer on the lash line, so I'm going to go ahead and take this one and put this one in my waterline. This is really, really beautiful. This one, I also do not have anything like this in my collection. I have a lot of like solid colors, and I have some bright pastel yellows, but I don't have anything metallic. That is pretty. Ooh, that's pretty. It's so creamy. I also do not have a new liner, so I'm going to take this double-ended one from Sheglam. I'm going to take the kind of creamy side here, and I'm going to use this to tight line my upper waterline real quick. I'm going to take the liner side and I'm going to do a quick wing. Wednesday the 14th, I think that's Wednesday, my daughter's going to be starting her cheer practices, the summer practice. They're going to be practicing Monday through Thursday from 4 to 6:30, so an hour and a half each day. And mind you, they have not cheered for over a year, because of the pandemic, they were virtual and stuff, and cheer was not being allowed. I don't think any of the sports were played last year at all, so yeah, they're having to get whipped back into shape. And then they'll be doing cheer camp the very beginning of August, right before the new school year starts. I have been looking for a school supply list, mainly for my son who's going to the 8th grade. I just have not seen any. I might have to call up the school and ask if there is a list available so we can go ahead and start doing the shopping, because It's like the middle of July. They start back to school in like a month. It's so hard to believe. It feels like summer just started for them. But you know, because the school year started late and it ended late, summer is shorter this year. I also have some new lashes here that I want to try out. These are from Cala. They're not new. I picked these up from TJ Maxx. They're in the Sassy shade 3D Faux Mink Weightless Volume and Curl multi-dimensional lashes. I just thought these were so pretty. I like the length. I thought they looked just nice and fluffy and full. So I'm going to throw these on. I don't think I'm going to have to trim them, but we will see. Wow, yeah, these feel like really, really nice and fluffy. All right, let me see if I'm going to have to trim these. I can just sit them there. I just want to kind of see what the length is looking like across. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim them just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these, and then I'm going to throw them on. Then we'll come back and we'll finish off with lips. Lashes are done, and I am liking this style. They give me nice full volume, but they're not like super, super long. If I should see this style again, I may go ahead and grab a couple more because these are really pretty. Let's go ahead and finish out with lips. We're going to be using this KVD Vegan Beauty Greatest Hits Lip Trio. This is not a new product. I found this at TJ Maxx. I've been wanting to try this formula for a while, but of course, you know, when it was Kat Von D, I had no interest in trying anything, but now that it's KVD Beauty, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these. I am definitely wanting to try them. Now, the question is, which shade do we want to try? I don't want to go super, super bright red. I'm not going anywhere, so I don't think I want to do that. I think that's a little too cool toned. I think I'm going to go with this one. It's kind of a nice peachy, pinky nude. I think that'll go nicely with this look. This shade is in Double Dare. I'm going to line my lips with my Colourpop Nude in Bumble. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and apply the lip color. That's what the doe fit looks like. I smell a slight fragrance. It's not like sweet or strong or anything like that, but let's go ahead and apply this. Oh, that's a pretty shade. It's peachy, a little bit of pink to it. It's going on very smooth, very opaque. So far, it feels nice on the lips. Like I said, this is not a new formula. This has been around forever. I've just never used this before. I've always been curious about it. You know, now that it's now KVD Beauty, no longer Kat Von D Beauty, been very curious about trying some of the products. I just realized that I had a mascara that I wanted to try and I completely forgot about it. It's the Volumizing Fibers from Essence, the What the Fake mascara. I guess I'm going to use this in a different video. I completely forgot about it. But let's go ahead and do some final thoughts on all the new products that I tried today. First of all, the Uoma by Sharon Carter foundation. This foundation is absolutely beautiful. If you could see my skin in person right now, I do not look like I am wearing foundation. I don't look like I'm wearing foundation. I don't look like I'm wearing powder. My skin just looks like skin. It looks nice and even. It looks bright. I do not look like I have any foundation on my face at all. This foundation is a definite win. The Shape Tape Ultra Creamy Concealer. It's nice and creamy. My under eyes do not feel dry, but I think you can even see now. You can see that darkness coming in. I'm definitely not getting the coverage from this one that I was getting from the original Shape Tape. I'm going to try it with my Becca under eye corrector. May look better with the two of them combined, but on its own, I just was not impressed with this concealer. I'm really liking this All Nighted Translucent Setting Powder from Urban Decay. It is really nice. When I first applied it, it looked like I might have like a little bit of a white cast going on, but no, it has like seeped into the skin. It's blended right on in. It looks very blurred. It looks very smooth. I'm matte, but not like super matte. Like it feels so nice and it looks so beautiful. Like it's looking beautiful on camera, but in person, it is just looking absolutely amazing. I'm glad that I went on ahead and grabbed this. I really enjoyed this Milani Cheek Kiss blush. I actually like this better than the Putty one from Elf. The Putty one from Elf I feel like is a little bit harder to work with and blend out. This one blended right out. It is absolutely beautiful. I also enjoyed the Pure Nude highlighter from Essence. Like I said, this is one of those products I've been wanting to try for a while. I will say I don't feel like it gave me the smoothest, most blinding glow or anything like that. I only paid $5 for this. I will say that I don't think it lived up to the hype that I kept hearing from the YouTubers that I like to follow. It's a pretty highlighter, but it's not my favorite formula. The Lush Life palette from Colourpop, this is absolutely beautiful. I was concerned that blue shade was going to be a little bit patchy because these two were patchy in the swatches, but when I put this to my eyelids, it blended out absolutely beautifully. I was concerned that it was going to be patchy like that shade in the Limoncello palette, but this one is a lot smoother. I packed it onto the outer lid, on the outer corner, and then just softly blended it out. And as you can see, it blended out so nicely. It shared out really beautifully. I didn't really have any issues with it. The shimmer that I used right here, blinding, shiny, beautiful on the eyelids. I absolutely love this palette. The liners are really, really nice, especially these two, the ones that have kind of that metallic finish to them. These are so creamy. The shade that I used, which was kind of like a golden shade, blend it right into my waterline. No pulling, no tugging. These are beautiful. And so far, I'm really liking the KVD lippies. I'm glad that I went on ahead and finally gave the formula a try. It's smooth, it's opaque, it's very comfortable, dry down, which I'm not surprised. I knew it was going to do that. I'm interested in seeing what the wear time is like, throughout the day through eating and drinking and stuff. But so far, I'm happy with it. I have no complaints. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That was my first time doing a full face of makeup in a while. I think the last one I did was the Shop Miss A video. I do have the new Hello Kitty collection, which I will be filming soon, and I'm currently waiting for that new Cherry collection to get here. Right now, I am going to go film my Daibach unboxing with my daughter. It'll probably be a couple of videos down the line before you see that one, but I was waiting for her to get home to film that one because we always do that one together. But if you like these types of videos, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my family. And if you'd like to be notified of any videos coming up in the future, just be sure to tap the notification bell down below. You'll be notified each and every time. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.